children. I am Raju K. Matthew, TGT English, JNV Chamarajanagar. Dear students, today we are going to learn a new lesson. That is, as you can see, the reported speech. It is an important topic for your exam. But when you study this reported speech, please study it for your life. It is not just for the exam, because it will help you in your oral communication and written communication. And now let us go. I have made a brief PowerPoint presentation, not very long, including all the main rules of reported speech. When you change from direct speech to indirect speech, what are the rules that we should follow? And you have to study it systematically. We will go one by one. Now please look at the screen. Here, direct and indirect speech, reported speech. We can report someone's speech either directly using the exact words of the speaker, or indirectly restating the speaker's words in a different way without changing the original meaning of the speaker. Here, what is indirect speech? What is a direct speech? Direct speech is a person's own words are used. We report a person's speech using his own original words. But in indirect speech, we understand what he says and we use our own words to convey the meaning. We don't use the exact words. We don't use the exact words of the speaker. Now, we should be very careful about, or very particular about, two terms. You see, a reporting verb and a reported speech. These two things we should pay special attention, because these two terms are used in this slide often. So you should be very clear about what is a reporting verb and what is reported speech. Look at the example. Teacher said the earth revolves around the sun. Here the verb said, which is given in reading, is a reporting verb, because it is reporting the speech of somebody. And the earth revolves around the sun. What is given in inverted comma in green letter, that is called a reported speech. It is a speech of someone else in his own words, the exact words of the speaker. So in short, reporting verb in the sentence is said because it is reporting the reported speech. Reported speech of the earth revolves around the sun. And the reported speech is the earth revolves around the sun. So these two terms should be clearly understood by you, because the rules govern depending on these two things. For example, in the next slide we will see, if the reporting verb is in the past tense, then you should know what is the reporting verb and the changes that take place in the reported speech. So reporting verb is the verb that is reporting, and the reported speech is the speech that is reported. Now we are going to study the general rules governing reported speech. They are the general rules. If the reporting verb is in the past, the tense of the reported speech changes to corresponding past tense. Now reporting verb, what it is in the previous slide. If that is in the past tense, then the tense of the reported speech, we know what is reported speech. We saw in the previous slide. So the tense of the reported speech will change into corresponding past tense. Now what is the corresponding past tense? One by one we are going to study. If the reporting verb is in the past, then simple present tense changes to simple past tense. This is the first rule. Simple present tense changes to simple past tense. Now look at the example. Ron said, I like my boss. Ron said that he liked his boss. Like changes into liked. Simple present tense changes to simple past. So this is the rule. If the reporting verb, here this is the reporting verb said, that is in the past. Therefore the simple present tense like changes to simple past tense liked. Now let us go to the next one. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Look at the example. Reena said, I am going to visit my boyfriend tomorrow. Said is the simple reporting verb, and that is in the past. Therefore, the tense of the reported speech, which is in the present continuous tense, changed to past continuous tense. Reena said that she was going to visit. Am going becomes a she was going. Am going changes to was going. So present continuous changes to past continuous. Corresponding past tense. Let's go to the next one. Present perfect tense changes to past perfect tense. Look at the example. Vishnu said, I have bought a new laptop. Said is the reporting verb. It is the past form, past tense. And so the reported speech, which is present perfect tense, I have bought a new laptop, changes to past perfect. Had bought a new laptop. So have bought changed to had bought. Look at the next example. God said to man, I have created you to love and help one another. Have created, present perfect form, changes to had created, past perfect. So present perfect changes to past perfect. Present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous tense. So this is the last tense form in the present tense. Munir said, I have been learning English for 2 months. Here reporting verb is said is in the past tense. Therefore, the tense of the reported speech, present perfect continuous tense, changing the corresponding past tense, past perfect continuous tense. Munir said, I have been learning English for 2 months. In that discussion, Munir said that he had been learning English for 2 months. Now, present tense is over. Now, let us go to past tense. If the reporting verb is the past tense, what change will happen to the reported speech even if it is in the past tense? It also has to go to or change into corresponding past tense. Let us see. Simple past changes to past perfect. Example. Sahran said, I bought a new car. Sahran said that he had bought a new car. See, I bought simple past tense, changed to had bought, past perfect. Next example. Prem said, I wrote a letter to my father yesterday. I wrote a letter to my father yesterday. Wrote changes to had written. Prem said that he had written. Simple past changes to past perfect tense. Past continuous tense changes to past perfect continuous tense. Martha said, I was watching TV when my father came home from work yesterday. Was watching, past continuous. Changes to past perfect continuous. Martha said that she had been watching TV when her father came home from work the previous day. So, past continuous changes to past perfect continuous tense. Was watching, changing to had been watching, had been watching. Past perfect continuous tense remains the same in reported speech because this is the last in past form. In past tense, this is the last tense form. It has no further corresponding past tense. Therefore, it doesn't change. It remains the same. Example. Jane said, I had been studying for 2 hours when the lights went out. Jane said that she had been studying for 2 hours when the lights went out. Had been studying. No change. Had been studying. So past perfect continuous tense doesn't change into any other tense form. It remains the same. Now let us go to the different types of sentences. Mainly we have to study 3. The last one we will take some other day. All the 4 types of sentence: assertive sentence, which is statement, then imperative sentence, which is command or request, then we have got interrogative sentence, questions. Lastly, we have got exclamative sentence, that we will study some other time. Now let us see assertive sentence statement. How to change assertive sentence into indirect speech. Remember here that the previous rules that we have studied, all those rules are applicable in all these kinds of sentences. When you transformed assertive sentence from direct to indirect, those rules are applicable. Similarly, imperative sentence also, those rules are applicable. Interrogative sentence, those rules are applicable. So therefore, you hear it is an assertive sentence statement. So all these examples are examples of assertive sentence. How they change into indirect speech. Look at the example. Tom said, "I am really sorry for the mistake." See, said. The reporting verb is in the past. Therefore, the tense of the reported speech changes. That rule is applicable here. Tom said that he was really sorry for the mistake. Here we are adding that. Each statement or an assertive sentence, we use that. Tom said that he was really sorry for the mistake. Second example. The teacher said, "I really want to appreciate you for this." Teacher said that. Again we are using that. He really wanted to appreciate him for that. Again Tom said, "I'm going to change my behavior." Tom said that he was going to change his behavior. Teacher said, "I knew it from your sorry face." The teacher said that he had known it from his sorry face. Last example. Tom said, "I will always follow your advice." Tom said that he will changes to would, always follow his advice. So Tom said that he would always follow his advice. So here we find, as the reporting verb is in the past, the tense of the reported speech changes to corresponding past tense. That is applied here. So you can check. All the examples follow that rule. So that is assertive sentence. Now let us go to the next type of sentence. Imperative sentence. Imperative commands and requests. Commands and requests. Now, what is? How to go about it? A reporting verb. After the reporting verb, object comes, then to infinitive. Keep in mind, to infinitive. The teacher ordered. The teacher said, "Complete the assignment today itself and submit it tomorrow." So the teacher is giving an order. What is the order of the teacher? The teacher said, "Complete the assignment today itself and submit it tomorrow." It is an order of the teacher. So when you convert into indirect speech, the reporting verb said changes to ordered. Or if you think it is advice, then you have to change it to advice. Let us take this, the order of the teacher. The teacher ordered the students what? To complete. Complete becomes here there's a complete only, no to. But you are adding to complete the assignment that day itself and submitted the next day. Next example. The students said, please give us more time. See, it is a request by the students. Now, therefore we say the students requested. Said, the reported verb said changes to requested because it is a request. The teacher to give, infinitive. Here in the given sentence it is a give only, no to. But here you are adding to give them more time. So look at this sentence. The students requested the teacher to give them more time. Now, interrogative sentence, questions. So interrogative sentence is nothing but questions. But here we must understand there are two types of questions. One type is normal questions. Questions where we use WH question words like what, when, where, why, who. This kind of question words are used. Now such a type of questions, how to change into indirect speech. And the second type, that is next slide, you will find the next type of sentence, yes or no type questions. So first let us study questions with the WH question words. The procedure is, after the reporting verb comes the object, then the given WH question word is to be used. See the example. Teacher asked the students how they were. First, the teacher said, how are you all? Teacher said, how are you all? Here one question is there, but it is a question word is used. How? The reporting verb is past tense. Therefore, the tense of the reported speech changes to corresponding past. Let us see. Teacher asked the students how. The given question word is used. How? Then comes they were all. Here you must remember, before were they should be used. How they were all, not how were they all. It's wrong. Always use the statement form here. Even though this is a question, but when you convert into indirect speech, use the statement form. That is why we are using the word they first and then comes the verb. In question it will be were they. In statement they were. So follow the statement form here. Finally, teacher asked the students how they were all. Look at the next example. Students said, we are all fine, sir. How are you, sir? See, the first part is a statement. We are all fine. We are all fine, sir. Next, how are you, sir? That is a question. Now see how it is changed. The students replied. Said is changed to replied because it's a reply of the students. Reported verb is changed. Replied that they were. That is used because of the statement. They were all fine. Tense changes. How are you? Students replied that they were fine. They were all fine. And they asked him how he was. Asked him how he was. How comes first, then comes he. Not reverse. We can't use a he. No. Whatever he first, then was. Not was first, then he. How he was, if you use how was he, it's wrong. We have to use how he was. Oh, subject comes first, then comes the verb. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Teacher said, what did I teach you yesterday? The teacher asked the students what he had taught them the previous day. Same rules. Reporting verb said changes to asked. Then the question word is used, the same question word is used here. Then tense of the reported speech changes to the corresponding past tense. He had taught them the previous day. Last example. Students said, you completed the reported speech, sir. That is a statement. What will you teach us today? The students replied that he had completed the reported speech and they asked him what he would teach them that day. So will becomes would. Okay, let us go to the next, the last part. This also interrogative sentence, but yes or no type question. Now what is yes or no type question? Those questions which can be answered with a yes or no, they are called yes or no type question. If I ask you, what is your name? You can't say yes sir. That's the wrong answer. There you have to say your name. My name is Tom. My name is Harry. Like this you have to say. But if I ask you, are you hungry? Then you can say, yes, I am hungry. Yes or no. If you say simply yes, that also is okay. Are you hungry? Yes. Are you hungry? No. You can say. So, questions which can be answered with yes or no, they are called yes or no type question. Yes or no type question. The proceeding is reporting verb, then object, and after that either if or whether. Not both. One of them. You can use either if or whether. Look at the example. The teacher said, did you complete the homework? The teacher asked the students if or whether they had completed the homework. Here also, reporting verb is in the past. Therefore, the tense of the reported speech changes to corresponding past tense. Now, let us see. Students said, yes sir, we completed it yesterday. Yesterday itself. Will you give us more time, more homework of the same time today also? The students replied that they had completed it the previous day itself. They further asked him if or whether he would give them more homework of the same time that day also. So if you are trying to use whether, be careful about the spelling. If you mistake the spelling like W-E-T-H, there is a different, that's the climate way. Don't use that. If you are not sure, use if. Otherwise, learn the spelling W-H-E-T-H. Now, change of time words. Some changes take place in time words. Let us see. Today changes to that day. Tomorrow changes the next day or the following day. Yesterday changes the day before or the previous day. Now changes to then or at that moment or at that time. Tonight changes into that night. Last night changes the night before or the previous night. Last week changes the week before or the previous week. Next week changes into the following week. Thus changes to say. Last, change of place words. Here becomes there, this becomes that, it becomes that, these become those, a go becomes different. So these are some of the rules governing indirect speech and direct speech and indirect speech. Now please learn them and learn the rules and regulations and also the examples, how the rules are applied in the exams, and in the same way you make more examples, make more examples in which you apply these rules. Now as your homework you can do like this. Take some 5 direct speech, change into indirect speech. Change into indirect speech. In that way you practice, and if you have any doubt you can ask me in my next class. So children, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you so much.